Okay, so what we are going to do next is here back in layout mode, we're going to turn on our armature, and right now we have all of these bones, but it's difficult to animate a character like this with all of these different bones, okay? Especially down here when you're trying to move the legs, it gets confusing because I've tried it. So what we're going to do is set up control groups. That's going to give us just one option to like select so that we're not too confused here. It's going to take a little while, but it's going to make animating a lot easier because we're going to make a lot of different animations with just this one figure. So in the long run, it's going to be better for you, okay? So just bear with me. It's going to take a while. Okay, make sure you click on, okay, so we'll click on collection so it kind of makes its own motion there. We're going to go to add mesh circle. And let's see how that made it. Let's go ahead and scale this out. It's like, I'm not sure. About yay big, okay? We're going to change the name of this to control object circle. I won't make you write that out. So we'll just do CO circle, okay? Okay, then what you want to do is we'll go ahead and hide this and not that. Hide this. And let's open up one more panel here. Here, we want to turn on this one that has the camera. So if you click hide on this one, that means it's not going to show up in your render, okay? So we're going to go ahead and hide it also so it's not in our way right now. So like right now I have these reference images still and they would be rendered in the image, so you can turn those off if you still have those on there. You might have taken them off already. Okay, so now we're going to add a cube, so add mesh cube. Okay, so we're going to call this one CO cube. Okay, so with that cube selected, let's go here to object properties, and we're going to come down to viewport display and select wireframe. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, that is not right. We're going to display as wire here. Okay, so that's how we want that to look. Okay, so with that box selected, go ahead and go into edit mode, and we're just going to scale this in about like that for now. Okay, so go back to object, we'll hide this now. Okay, so now we're going to add another circle, so add mesh circle. Okay, go ahead and make it or scale it out so you can see it better. Then we're going to go into edit mode and select the vertex select. So with all that's selected, we're going to duplicate that. So Shift D, duplicate that, and then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. And maybe not that way. This way. If you want, you can hold control till it gets to 90. Having some issues here. Maybe if I look at it from the front. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to duplicate this, Shift D, and rotate again so that it is this way, if that makes sense. So we're rotating it this way, hold control till you get to 90. Right there. Okay, so you should have something like that going on. Okay, so then we'll go back to object mode. That's what that looks like there. And we're going to change this to CO sphere. Okay, and we can hide those. Okay, so now what we can do is create a new collection. Where did that go? Okay, we'll call this control objects and we'll put those in there. So here they are. I'm going to move them up. Okay, so now they're all in there. And honestly, for now, I think it's going to be better if we just kind of look at this in this normal preview mode. I'm going to go ahead and hide the face At least that one, because it's looking funny. And I don't want to be able to select it for now. And maybe this one too. I don't want to select my face. Okay, so now with our armature selected, we'll go here into edit mode. And we're going to click the top here of this bone. Let's go ahead and set our cursor there. So Shift S, 3D cursor to selected. Okay, then we're going to press Shift A to create a new bone there. That should be okay. We're going to come and change this to active element. And so when I do that, that is supposed to move the pivot point down here to that bigger part of the bone. Okay, so now what we're going to do is get our rotate tool and hold down the control key so we can rotate this 90 degrees. Again, look up here, make sure that it's the right angle. Okay, so this is going to control our head. So if you press F2, so we can rename this. This is going to be head. I'm going to put .co. So head.co. Head control object. Okay, so now we're going to change this back to individual origins. We're going to select this spine bone here in the middle. Let's go ahead and press Shift S, and we're going to use cursor to selected. I want it here, so Shift S, cursor to selected. Okay, so we're going to create a new bone here. So I'm going to press Shift A to make a new bone. Where's that bone? Down here. Okay, so I'm just click here and make sure that I'm renaming the right bone. This is going to be spine.co. Okay, again, make sure you rename the right one and not accidentally the main bone to the armature. Okay, so hopefully that one is still selected. We're going to go to active element. We'll turn it here on its side and get our rotate. We're going to rotate this bone, press control so you can do it 90 degrees, just like that, okay? So that should be easier to see. That is our spine control object. Okay, now we're going to select right here, Shift S to, Shift S, cursor to selected. Now Shift A to create a new bone. If we move this back to active element, where are we at? We need this bone. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this out like I did the other one, 90 degrees, so hold control and rotate that. Okay. So we're gonna name this one spine1.co. Okay. Then we're going to come down here and move the cursor to selected. Whoops. So Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A to make a new bone. And I'm looking here, I don't see a new bone. Shift A, I think I pressed the wrong button at first. Now I do. Okay, I'm going to rotate it here on the side and rotate that out 90 degrees. Oh, push control. And I'm going to change this back to individual origins for a second. And I'm going to move this in, make that one smaller and make this one a little bit smaller. Okay. So we'll select that bone. Okay. This one we will rename root.co. Okay, so back to the frontal view. We're going to start with the arms. So we'll click here, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A to create a new bone. We're going to go ahead and come here, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, create a new bone. Here, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A. And then we need to do the same thing here for each of these. Sorry, but gotta do it. So, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A. we can move that down, make it a little smaller. Here, Shift S, cursor just selected, Shift A, Shift S, cursor just selected, Shift A, Shift S, cursor just selected, Shift A. Here, Shift S, cursor just selected, Shift A. Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A. And actually, we don't need this one here. Sorry, it got carried away. Okay. Okay, and actually, we don't need this one either. Sorry, we'll delete that. Delete, delete, delete. And then what we want to do is on these, we're going to move this point facing down. Same for this one. Facing down. Okay? Now, maybe we do, sorry, we do need one on this end. Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A. Here, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A. Move that one down. Okay, so now what we're going to do is select all of these here, and we're just going to move them up over the hand. And do the same thing here, except we're going to move these down. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to move down here and we're going to select our foot control. Make sure you have the right one selected. Oh, we never renamed those. Okay, so to do the foot control, we're not going to do it the same way. We're going to go to object mode, select our object, our Lego figure, go to edit mode, and we want to look here at the bottom. And we want to get edge select and select that line right here. Okay, and what we're going to do is press Shift S and cursor to selected there. Okay, now we'll go back to object mode, select our armature, go back to edit mode. Okay, so we have our cursor down, not our cursor, yeah, our cursor is down here by the leg. All right, so with that there, I'm going to press Shift A. That's going to put my bone there at the bottom of the foot, should at least. And I'm going to go ahead and rotate this 90 degrees, so holding control. Okay, and then I'm going to extend this past the foot a little bit there. Okay, so then we can select this bone, press F2 to rename it. This is going to be foot control.co. Okay, so now we'll go and rename these that we did not rename. So, okay, we're going to rename these. This one's going to be uparm.co.l. lowarm.co.l. hand.co.l. This one will be finger 1.co.l. This one is finger 2.co.l. F2 finger 3.co.l. Okay, so now these bottom ones, select the first one, F2. This is going to be thumb 1.co.l. If you want, you can copy and paste that, so you have to keep typing this 25 times. Select the next one, F2, paste, and we'll just change the number to 2. Okay, next one, F2, paste. This would be thumb 3.co.l. Okay, so back to the foot area. Okay, we're going to select this bone right here. Press Shift, what is it? Shift S? I'm so confused now. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A to insert a new bone there. Okay, and I'm just going to make this a little smaller. I'll rename this footroll.co. Sorry, don't forget the .l. Now we're going to come to this point right here. We will press Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A to create a new bone. Go ahead and make this smaller, and then we're going to bring this one out in front. Okay, we'll press F2. This should be the toe.co.l. Okay, and then I'm just going to move this up a little bit here. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so now we're going to click on the bottom of this knee bone. Make sure you got the right one selected. We'll move the cursor, so Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A to create a new bone. And we're going to go ahead and drag this down here. Okay, we can click on this, F2, knee.co.l. Okay, so we have all these. Whoa, this is messy. So I'm looking at here and just making sure I'm looking at the names, that they all have CO, and then that the ones that are at the bottom have CO.L. Oh, right here, we need to add .L there. So just check that they have .L. Now the ones in the middle don't need a .L because they're just one of those. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna select all of these that have .L and just kind of look, make sure you got them all. We made those 4 down here, and then we made all of these up here, right? Okay, so we're gonna move our cursor back to the middle, so Shift S, cursor to world origin. Then we're gonna come up here and change this to 3D cursor. Okay, so we're gonna press Shift D. Is it Shift D? I keep forgetting. Let me get just this. Shift D. Okay, right click to hold it in place. Control M to mirror. Control M. And then I think it's X to mirror it. Now again, these might be a little off because remember we didn't mirror our armature very well. But the foot bones should be good. So kind of look at them there. We just might have to do a little adjusting here. And I'm thinking it's just really, maybe these need to be, they should be like directly under there. So let's move these up and down maybe. Over. They don't have to be exact, but just close. So that one's like touching. Come up here and look at these. I think I'm just gonna start, maybe just move these separately. Well, maybe not. Oh, you come back. You go down there. These should be like inset in there, and then these are the ones that are hovering. So I'm going to look at it from the top. It's at the top. Okay. I think that should be fine. This one looks like the only one that might be a little issue. Just look from the way it's rotated. But I think that's good there. Okay, so then we want all of the ones that have this .001 here. Highlight those. Okay, we're gonna right click, names, flip names, but then we need to go and remove that 001 on all of them. So we'll start doing that. Start clicking these, F2, and take that off. Okay, then you can look here and quickly see if you have them all without the 00.001 on there. These should all be R's, these should be L's. Okay, so now we need to start parenting our control objects to our armature. So with our selection tool, we'll select the head to the head, control object to the head. Control P, keep offset, okay. Okay, for this one, we're gonna select it, but we're gonna parent it to this first spine bone here. So those two, Control P, keep offset. This one will be parented to this one, Control P. This one to this one. 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 And this one to this one. This one to this one. This one to this one. Okay, let's go ahead and do this side. So here, hold shift, select this one, Control P, keep offset. Let me do these real quickly. Keep offset. Keep offset. Keep offset. Keep offset. Keep offset. Keep offset. Okay, now we're going to select this one and hold shift, select this one, Control P, keep offset. This one here to this one, Control P, keep offset. This one here to the root, Control P, keep offset. Okay, so now down here, we're going to select this one and we want to select the foot control bone. Make sure you have, yeah, this one. So this one here, hold shift to this one, Control P, keep offset. Let's go ahead and do the other side so we don't forget. This one to this one, Control P, keep offset. Okay, then we should have this other control bone, foot control.L, foot control object, and we're going to pair that one to the foot control too. So this one, hold shift, select the foot control, Control P, keep offset. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. This one to this one, Control P, keep offset. Okay, then we're going to select this toe bone control object that we made. Hold shift, same bone here, foot control, Control P, keep offset. This one to this one, make sure it's right, Control P, keep offset. Okay, then we'll come this way and select this knee control object, hold shift to the knee, Control P, keep offset, same here, select this one, hold shift and that one, Control P, keep offset. Okay, so we've parented all those and now we need to make them into the control objects. Okay, we're gonna go select your armature. Oh, sorry, go to object mode, or so just go to post mode. We already had armature selected. Before I do that, okay, before I start this, I realize my head bone is going the wrong way. So I'm gonna go back to edit mode real quickly. And this should be rotated in the back like all of these. So I'm going to rotate that back, holding control. Should be about 90. Okay. So make sure again that this bone is facing that way. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to go back to pose mode. Oops. Okay. I just cleared my transform, sorry. Okay, anyway, now we're going to select our neck bone, this one down here. And we're going to click on this bone properties and we want to come down to viewport display. And where it says custom object, we are going to choose the control object circle. Okay, circle. And you can see that that turned that bone into a circle. But what we're going to do is link it to this head control object here. So where it says override transform, we're going to select this and find our head control object. head control object. So make sure you pick the one with CO at the end, because it should be facing like a halo. So I'm going to go back to edit mode and I'm going to rotate this again. Maybe I need to adjust the roll. So let me go and adjust the roll. Can I adjust the roll? So now right now I have negative 90. Let me do 0. Let me go back to pose mode. Okay, there we go. So now it's facing the direction that it's supposed to be facing. So again, all I did there was in edit mode, I changed this to the roll to 0. And now it is facing like a halo, which is what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, so I'm going to come back to kind of my frontal view, but maybe not because I want it up here. I'm thinking that's a little low. Right here. On the scale, we want to make that a little bit wider, just so it's easier to like handle. And then we don't have to worry about it being a little bit low. Okay. So now what that does is now all we have to do is select that circle and we are able to control our head. Okay, and believe me, once we start getting down here, you're going to see why it's going to be a whole lot easier to use the control objects to animate your character. Okay, so now what we need to do is move, get your selection tool. We're going to move these 2 bones, and so we don't need to see them anymore because we can now control our head with this. We're going to go to pose, change bone layers, and we're going to move this to the second one right here. And then now we still have them, but they're on a different layer that we no longer like is visible right now. Okay, so now we're going to go to this one. Let me see what this is called. So this is spine 2. So for custom object, we're going to use the circle again. So CO circle. Then we're going to come to override transform and select the spine 2 control object. Spine 1, because that one should be spine. Oh, that's not right. That one's not right, so maybe it's just spine. So let's get rid of that one. Spine control object. There we go. Okay, and then we want to kind of scale this out maybe so it's a little bit bigger than the body. Okay, so it's like a ring around the body, right? Maybe a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, so then if you were to select this, press R to rotate, you can now rotate the object using just the ring. Okay, so then we're gonna go and click this. Yeah, we'll click this one. We'll go to pose, change bone layer, and put that on the second layer also. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing to this one. So you'll select spine.001, custom object. I can't remember what we did on the last one. I think we did spine on the last one, so this one's going to be spine 1. Oh, sorry, this is CO circle. Now the override transform is going to be spine 1. Okay, then you can scale that out so it is a ring around our object. Lego figure. Okay, something like that maybe. Because this, okay, whatever. Then we can click on this bone here, go to pose, change bone layer, and put it on layer 2. Okay, so now we are going to do the root bone. So select your root bone. We're going to go to custom object. This time we're going to pick the control object cube. Okay, and then we want to check wireframe. We're going to go to override transform and select that root control object. Okay, and then you probably want to scale that out. maybe something like that. But one issue is it's not really in the right spot. We kind of want it here around this box. So we're going to go to object mode, and we want to open our control objects and unhide the cube for now. Okay, and we'll go ahead and click on that. So we're going to take this into edit mode. And we can see that right now it's a pretty big square. So what we can do first is scale it inwards. Okay, we don't need it to be that wide. Okay, that looks pretty okay. Then we can get our move tool and we can move it up, and you can watch as I move it. It's going opposite. Okay, so because I had to move that down, I don't think that's supposed to be how that works. I think my roll is going to be wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to object mode, select my armature, go into edit mode, and I'm going to click on that control bone. And I see here I have a roll of 180. That should be 0. So then I'm going to go back to object mode, select this control object again, go to edit mode, and now if I move it up, it should move up. Yeah, so if yours did that, you might want to do that too, because I'm not sure that it should be backwards like that. And that kind of makes me want to check the other ones. So I'm going to go to object mode, select my armature again, go to edit mode, and I want to see what these are at. So the roll should probably be at 0. Don't know how some of these got turned around. This one's at 180. So those might be issues. We'll see. And I kind of want to check those too. So I'm going to go back to, where's my, look at these. Roll. I'm going to change these to 0. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to this layer, and I'm going to go ahead and change these to 0. Let's look at the knee. It's -90. I'm wondering if that should be +90. So I'm going to do 90. Mine just need to be 0 also. These are at almost 0. Okay, I'm going to go back to now pose mode. Oh, I need to go and hide my cube again. Okay, so now we can select our root bone and go to pose, change bone layer, and put that on layer 2. Okay, so now we're going to come up here to the arm and go ahead and select this uparm.l. And in the bone one, we're going to select custom shape circle. So the control object circle. Then override transform is going to be up, it should be uparm.l or uparm.co.l. That's low arm. Uparm.co.l. Okay, and right now this is going the wrong way, and so we'll just go to edit mode, and on this bone here we'll change that roll to 90 degrees, go back to pose mode, and there that is. It's pretty big, so we can scale that down a little bit. Whoa, not that little. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to select this low arm.l. Custom object is going to be a circle. The override was going to be the low arm.co.l. Okay, and then we need to rotate this one, the roll. This one maybe not completely 90 degrees. Let me try 60. I'm going to go back and look at it. And maybe look at it from the top. And you kind of want that angle to be the same as the elbow, so maybe that's not quite far enough or too far. I'm not sure. Looks like it still needs to be a little... Okay, maybe like that. Yours might be different. It just depends the shape of it all. So then we'll select this ring again. Nope, and scale it down a little bit. So my other one was 0.6. Right now this one is at 0.6. Okay, now we'll do the hand. So select this here. Custom object is going to be a circle again. Then this is going to be hand.co.l. Okay, and then we'll need to rotate the roll here. Oh, not that one, this one right here. I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna do 50, let me do 60 for now. Looks like 65 might be the closest. Well, I mean, it works. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select these bones here. And I'm gonna go to pose, change bone layers, and put those on 2. And then, I'm sorry, if you needed to make this bigger, you can. Okay, so now we're going to select this finger 1.l. Go down to the bone, custom object. This time we're going to use the sphere. Okay, on override transform, we're going to select finger1.co.l. Okay, so it should look something like that. And then we can go ahead and scale that down. Okay, then I'm going to go to the next one. Custom object. This is finger 2. We're going to do the sphere again for all these. And for custom object, I mean the override transform, finger2.co.l. And let me just see what I used here. I used 0.2 here, so I can use 0.2 here. Okay, next one. Sphere. Finger 3.co.l. 0.2. Come over here. This is thumb 1. We're going to do the sphere. Override transform. Thumb 1.co.l. 0.2. Next. Sphere. Let's see if I can just type it in. Thumb.2.co.l. 0.2. Next, sphere. Thumb3.co.l. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Back. This one. Sphere. Thumb.co.3.l. 0.2. Okay, then we can come and select these bones. Go to pose, change bone layers, and put those on layer 2. So if we select these now, we can rotate the hands just by using our control objects. Okay, then we're going to just do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to see what I have it at 0.6 here, so I'm going to go to this other side, select this up arm.r. Custom object is a circle. Override would be up arm.control object.r. And looks like we need to go rotate this. First, I'm going to go ahead and put it at 0.6. And I'm going to go to edit mode, select this bone. I'm going to do 90. I think we did 90 last time. Go back to pose. That looks good. Okay. This is a 0.62. Okay, so I'm going to go to this one now. This is our low arm. So another circle. Override transform will be low arm.co.r. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that at 0.6, and then I'll need to rotate that again. Let me go to edit mode, and I'm gonna go to here and see what I had this one at. So this one I had at 70. So I'm gonna try this one at 70. Go back to pose. No, not as good. Need to rotate it more the other way. Now for the hand. So click on the hand, circle, override transform, hand.co.r, and go to edit mode, change the roll. Okay. Then now we'll do the fingers. This is finger 1. So we have the sphere, finger 1.co.r. And what did we have this at? I don't remember. Point 2. Next, sphere, finger 2.co.r, 0.2. Sphere, finger 2.co, this is 3, fingers 3, co.r, 0.2. Okay, down here to the thumb, sphere, wait, did I click the right thing? Yeah, I did. Thumb 1.co.r. Next, sphere, thumb 2.co.r. Next, sphere, thumb 3.co.r. Oh, I did the wrong one again. Okay, so click this one. Okay, then we can select all of our bones. Pose, change bone layers, put those on too. Okay. Okay, let's go down here and find our foot control bone. Should be this one here, foot control.l. For custom shape, we're going to use the circle. And then the override transform, we are going to do foot control.co.l. So foot control.co.l. So with this, you just want to make sure that it's sticking out a little bit. How much is kind of up to you. Might do mine just a little bit bigger. You can always go back and change that if you. So the thing is, you don't want it to like cross over too much on that other side. So maybe make it a little smaller. And just barely cutting it. So I have 0.12. I'm going to do 1.1. Okay, so I'll leave it like that. Okay, so now we'll select this foot control.co.l bone. Let's go ahead and hide that one because there's way too many bones here. Change bone layer 2. Okay. Then honestly, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one because there's too many of these to remember. So foot control .r custom is going to be the circle. Then override transform to foot control.co.r. I had 1.1 here. And that looks good. Oh, I want to hide that bone. Change change bone layer, 2. Okay, so now we're going to select this one, which is the footroll.l. For custom object, we're going to use the sphere. Okay, and we're going to override transform with the footroll one here. So footroll.co.l. Make that a little smaller there. So since this is behind, we just don't want it to like go into the figure. Okay, so something like that. And then we can go ahead and do the other one over here. So footroll.r, custom object sphere, override footroll.co.r. And then I'm going to go see what I have here. 0.2, 0.2. Then we can select these 2 bones, pose, change bone layers, and move those. Okay, now for the toe. So select the toe bone here, custom object sphere. I just realized I misspelled sphere. Okay, override to toe.co.l, and we'll scale that down. I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger. That's too big. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Okay, so with that in mind, go ahead and do the other one. So sphere, and then override transform to toe.co.r, and I did 0.3. Okay, then we can come here and hide those 2. Pose, change bone layers, put them on 2. Okay, so now for the knee, we're going to select the top one. Okay, that's our knee.l. Custom object, we're going to do sphere again. And then we'll go to knee.co.l. We can scale this down. Let me try 0.3 again. What was this one? Oh, I guess they just look different. I'm going to do 0.4. Okay, so then I'm going to go to this one, knee, sphere, override, knee.co.r, and I think I had 0.4. Okay, so now we can get these 2 bones, pose, change bone layers, put them on 2. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these bones that we have left. And this one has 2 bones in there, so we'll see what that happens. So pose, change bone layers, put those on 2, and then we'll select these remaining 2, pose, change bone layers, and 2. Okay, so now our armature is ready. So you can kind of just, I don't know, play with these, see what happens. Also, like the shortcut for these are to move is G, rotate is R. So if you don't want to have to constantly come back and do things, so like if I G, if I select this and press G, I can move it freely like that. If I press R, I can rotate that. So I'm not sure if it rotates any other direction. Yeah, so if you wanted to rotate it another direction, I guess you'd need to come in. Well, I don't know why you'd want to rotate it that way, but anyway. And I'm just going to mess with some of these, just make sure that they work okay. Oh, I forgot to hide this one. Pose, change bone layer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to assign colors to like each of these like rings and spheres and things, just so they're easier to distinguish the difference in between them. So first, let's go to this one, the Running Man, object data properties, maybe. Excuse me. And we're going to open up bone groups, and we're going to select all these going down the center. So this one, hold shift, this one, and this one here. And down here, we're going to add a new bone group, and we can call this center. And then we'll come down here and click assign to put those on there. So then you can come here and change the color to whatever color that you want to use for the center objects. Okay, so now we're going to select everything on this right side. Okay, add another one. We're going to call this right. And I'm going to pick red for right, and change those to red. And it did not work because I didn't assign it. Sorry. Okay, assign. There we go. So now all those are red. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing, but on this side. So I'm going to select all of these. Okay, new group. Left. Assign, and then choose your color you want to use for that one. Okay, so whatever colors you want to use is fine. You can change them out, see what you like. Then what we can do is come up back down here to viewport display and uncheck in front. Okay, that way the rings that go around are actually going to go around. And looking at that now, it makes me want to move this one. I feel like it needs to be, maybe it just needs to be a little bit wider. So I'm going to go back here. Oh, let me do 0.7. Okay. Okay, so finally we are done with this armature. So if you will, just kind of move your Lego character to the side and take a screenshot of this. This is what you'll turn in for this part of the assignment. Just like that.